Yo, yo, yo! And welcome to this edition of Owl Eyez on Base DeFi Yields. Now, this is the weekly show where we talk about all things DeFi related and where the best LP opportunities are. So joining us as always, we have my wonderful co-host who is a DeFi liquidity pool savant. He is the founder of the Owl Eyez community. He is a noted speaker at many an event. He is the man, the myth, Crypto Noah. How are you today, brother?
Man, it's been we've been going strong. To answer the question, I'm doing great. We've been going strong. We stopped last week because of the holidays and your birthday, and you launched Fireside. I'm sure we're gonna get into some of that. But I am here at home in my old room. I'm at my parents' house in Michigan. It's like 19 degrees outside. My dog's sitting right here, so we're gonna go to the frozen lake after this. But man, it's been good connecting to my roots. A lot of stuff's been happening in crypto, but y'all know I'm still coming with the new merch. So I packed like 6 crypto shirts just in case I stayed a little bit longer than I might like. Today I'm wearing a hoodie. This is the Ethereum man here. I got an ETH Denver. This is an Eigenlayer hoodie, and then they got the logo on the back. Super warm. Super comfy. But no, we got some good stuff for you guys today. Before we get into that, man, how you doing, man? How was the birthday? How was the holiday? How was the lunch?
Birthday was fine. It was pretty low key. My birthday was on the 20th, and then we launched on Thanksgiving. So I was locked in. I was like focused on everything like towards this the Fire token launch. So for my actual birthday, just kept it like low key with the family. I went to a Mexican restaurant. I got showered with a bit of love. My wife was a bit nicer to me that day.
Nice.
You know how it is. But yeah, I mean, it was cool birthday. I'm feeling a bit older, a little bit wiser. Hopefully, touch wood. But for the token launch, I mean, oh man, it's Murphy's law. What can go wrong will go wrong. But it was a trial by fire experience. Happy to be on the other side of it and just be able to being funded and being able to focus on building is just like a fantastic place to be because we know where we're going and now we have the capital to take on the big dogs.
I hear that, man. And hey, another law that comes to mind is the law of momentum. An object in motion stays in motion, and you guys are in motion. So you guys be on the lookout on my channel. We're going to do an AMA hopefully sometime this week or next week. Get it posted no later than next week and really dive into Fireside and how they're aiming to do things different on the Base app. So be on the lookout for that. And also, before we jump in and get started, click that QR code, the QR code in the top left-hand corner or whatever side of the screen it's on for you, and join our free community.
But yeah, let's dive into it. I'm ready to learn something new today.
All right. So first, before we dive into it, I want to get your opinion on. I'm sure you've been seeing this. It's this tweet that Coinbase posted. This one right here. New era of Coinbase is beginning December 17th, 2 p.m. System update. Dude, do you have any insight as to what that is?
Nothing official. No, I haven't got the inside track. I think anybody who knows definitively has been told definitively, hey, keep this under wraps. I did try and price on the base team, on the spaces, like, what is it? But I think I know what it is. I bet you probably think it's the same thing. I think a lot of crypto Twitter is abuzz with what it could be, and I think this is when Base app goes public.
That's what I was thinking. Man, that'd be pretty badass. And then we get the Clarity Act passing. So I think a perfect scenario, we get the Base app open, right? Guys, keep in mind, guys, this is what today's show is going to be about. We're talking about how the Base app compares to the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. We're going to talk about how they're creating a moat around their business and how they're separating themselves from all other L2s. Okay, Base app it's becoming more than an L2. So right now, some interesting metrics. There's only like 300,000 people inside of the Base app. It's invite only. My good brother right here was nice enough to get me and our community some, so we super appreciate you for that. And 300 users is nothing, right? So eventually, and we're thinking it's the date of this tweet, it's going to open the floodgates. And guys, you better believe that it's going to be a tidal wave of people going in there. And I think it's going to cause base tokens to pump, a lot of which we've covered on previous episodes, such as Zora, such as OpenXAI and Rift and some of the other tokens, Syndicate. I know you're still holding Syndicate. And then we have the Clarity Act, right? So the Clarity Act is the bill that draws the line in the sand on what makes a token a security versus a commodity. Okay. And this is going to give regulators and institutional investors clear guidelines on the rules to the game, so they'll be able to invest without getting sued, losing their regulator, and losing their job, which are their top 3 biggest fears. But also inside the Clarity Act, there's this one line that says anyone or company can launch a token. They can raise up to $75 million just as long as they plan to decentralize within a 4-year time period. So we're going to see so many people launching tokens. Coinbase is famous for working with regulators and, stand with crypto.
Stand with crypto, yeah.
Yeah, stand with crypto. They're big proponents behind that. So they know I'm not going to say it's like that, but they have a better idea as to the Clarity Act getting passed more so than anyone. And I think that they will launch the Base app knowing that that's going to get passed. And you're going to have a lot of people tokenizing things on Base, and they're going to have celebrities coming on. They have a market or a war chest of billions of dollars. Eventually, we're going to see Stephen Curry and Drake and LeBron James on Zora. Buying their creator coins is going to be the easiest way to make money, right? But today, I just want to dive into the Base app and why this is so huge. Okay, so to start, Base isn't competing with other L2s. They're competing with Apple and Google. Like, seriously. The Coinbase Base app is going to be crypto's first on-chain app store. Guys, think about how huge that was and how the Apple App Store was Web2's first app store, and look at what that did. So you have millions of users right now. They have a one-tap path from Coinbase to Base to then decentralized applications. No seed phrase, no browser extension, no bridge and friction. Okay, so native Base wallet has automatic account abstraction, right? It makes it easier to interpret and read and deal with the transaction manifest. Gas sponsorship, so no ETH needed, and then direct access to apps. And this removes the #1 barrier to Web3, which is onboarding friction. Okay, so why is this 10 times bigger than people think? So key insights. 1, every L2 is trying to scale crypto users. Base is trying to scale regular people. Okay, so if you look at L2s like Arbitrum, Optimism, which Base is built on top of, ZK Sync, these are all dev-first ecosystems. Base is a consumer-first ecosystem with built-in distribution via Coinbase. Okay, so if you look at, let's talk about this App Store moment and why the Base app matters, and just kind of compare it to Web2 App Store. So you have the Apple App Store, right? They were a distribution engine that turned apps into a global industry. Apps didn't exist before that. And at first, inside of the Apple App Store, you were only allowed to use Apple apps. Like only Apple had its apps in there. But then they unlocked it so that different companies can build apps like Facebook and Instagram, etc. Base is already starting with other companies being able to launch apps. Like we already have Zora in there and OpenXAI and some of the other ones. And you have AI, which makes it easier to build apps. AI wasn't even around back then. So we're going to see more apps faster. So with the Apple App Store, you had developers building where users already were. They already had iPhones, right? So they already had a user base just like Coinbase has. Google Play Store, open ecosystem led to global access and rapid expansion. Now, if you look at the Coinbase App Store, they have millions of pre-existing users, not just pre-existing users, KYC'd users, right? They have more information on their users than Apple did on theirs because you didn't need all that stuff to buy a phone back then, okay? Instant on-chain access without Web3 friction. And then featured dApps get organic distribution the exact same way that apps get featured on Apple and Google. Okay, so the Base app is the first real Web3 app store, and it gives Base distribution power no chain has ever had, not even close. Okay, so how does this create a competitive moat? We're gonna break this down. I'm gonna break this down in 3 layers. 1, a distribution moat, users. Coinbase already has 100 million KYC users. No other L2 has anything close. They just have a bunch of wallet addresses, guys. that they can figure out through talking to exchanges who they belong to, right? You have a trust mode. Coinbase is already regulated, secure, compliant. They're the custodian for most of the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. BlackRock trusts Coinbase with their money, right? And then you also have consumers and enterprises feeling safe onboarding there because of that. Then they have the UX mode. So seamless onboarding, no seed phrase, auto gas, app discovery directly inside the wallet. Arbitrum can't do this. Solana can't do this. They don't have 100 million KYC users. Optimism can't do this. Base is the only chain with a mainstream gateway. So why does this put Base years ahead of other L2s? Well, one, other L2s rely on MetaMask, Etherscan, and random links, multi-step bridging. Most users are never going to do this, ever. Meanwhile, Base removes every step. You open Coinbase, you tap the app, and then you're literally in. So this is the first L2 that has a native consumer wallet, embedded app discovery, built-in fiat on-ramp. That's huge. Instant distribution and brand trust. Guys, they're literally hitting all the nails on the hammer. Like they're checking all the boxes. So it's not just an L2. It's the first consumer-facing blockchain platform. Okay. So this is part of the reason why I think that the Base app will eat market share. So you have Coinbase to Base apps, and you have network effects, and then developers are going to flock where the users are. Same reason iOS was chosen over Windows. And proof of that, we already have social apps like Zora, Friendtech, Dracula, Farcaster. That's early proof. Okay, so when the masses come on chain, they won't know or care about L2 architecture, right? But they will use whatever app their Coinbase wallet leads them to, and that's Base. Okay, so if we kind of peer into the future, this is going to lead to more apps being built directly for Base. We're going to have a retail-friendly UX that leads to a new class of users, non-crypto natives, like people like our grandmother who use the App Store. They just pop open their phone and hit App Store, just like you're going to be able to pop open your Base wallet. And they're leading with the wallet first. And I'm already, I don't know if we talked about it on this show, but I'm really bullish on sign in with wallet instead of like sign in with Google and stuff like that. So it's cool that the Base app is a wallet first, and then the app got built after, versus it becoming an app and then a wallet. And then the X402 upgrade just makes this whole thing a lot easier. We talked about that, I think, like 2 episodes ago. So I can see Base becoming the de facto consumer blockchain. And I think the closest competitor is the Abstract chain, which is owned by the founders of the Pingu, Pudgy Penguins. But they don't have 100 million KYC users, nor do they have an exchange or a wallet, but they do have loyal NFT holders. So I can see them being like the Google Play Store. But just to close it out, in the next 12 to 18 months, I think we're going to stop calling Base an L2, and we're going to start calling it the on-chain app store. And that's the biggest moat in crypto right now. And that is where I can see most of the people getting onboarded in a responsible way, not just hearing about the next latest and greatest meme coin.
Man, that's a mic drop moment. Like you're spitting straight fire. To be honest, I think many of the points that you mentioned are reasons why I'm bullish on Base, and why many people who have decided to build in crypto are coming to Base, or at least have been like focused on Base. The wallet, the no barrier to entry wallet, allowing normies to enter into DeFi and dApps, and just without having to do all these blockchain gymnastics that we've done in like the previous cycles. It's getting easier, and even on this show, you walk me through some of these steps, because I'm not familiar with like the new updates, but I'm happy to go through those steps. But as you mentioned, you think about your grandma or whoever like who wants to participate but doesn't have any idea how. Projects like Banker, for example, where you can just say it in simple language and engage, and then all these different AI bots where you can do automatic yield searching. I mean, that's gonna be revolutionary. I actually interviewed a project not too long ago. Want to release the episode soon. They're doing like so you have like LP providing, but this was like it was talking about like so you have like lending and you have borrowing, and they've created a bot where it's like rebalances out always whenever you're borrowing crypto,
Mm-hmm.
it's it always finds the best rate. So for example, if you're with one platform and you're paying 4% APR, and another pool turns up that you're paying 3, it will arbitrage the difference and move your loan over there. So it'll bring your borrowing rate down. Whereas and also at the same time finding the most or offering higher yielding pools to offset those borrowings, and like that's like through AI agents, and that's happening here on Base. So it's really incredible to see like these almost passive ways that people can enter DeFi, and just the processes are becoming simpler, and so many teams are working on making it simpler for the next generation. And yeah, I do believe Base will be the consumer chain. I disagree about Pudgy or Pengu being or Abstract chain being the biggest competitor. I mean, looking at he's a savant when it comes to collabs and partnerships, and really, I think Pengu's Pudgy Penguins kept the NFT movement alive in the bear market. Like all NFTs went down, even Bored Apes, but Pudgy Penguins was focused on the Web 2. So I mean, like they're whistling their whole. They've got some partnerships with like Nasdaq. I saw one just with NHL. They got like games and toys, and they're tapping like the youth. But I would say the biggest, and I wouldn't even call it competitor, but the second biggest consumer chain, I would say, is Ton, because of Telegram. Because whatever chain you're trading on, Solana, Base, whatever, the group chats typically are on Telegram, and they do have their own wallet, and they do have their own mini app store. You can buy and sell stickers. You can do so much within the app. And in terms of like user base, bear in mind, I don't know how many are actually bots. Crypto Twitter is like the biggest platform. You mentioned Base app has 300,000. Twitter has what, 300 million, and Telegram has over 1 billion users. So in my mind, going into this cycle, I was always of the opinion that it's either going to be Ton that has the numbers, or Base app that is targeting consumer, that is going to be like the number one onboarding tool for normies into crypto.
That's actually a really good observation, man. Honestly, I forgot about Ton. So here's why I think Abstract, but I don't disagree with what you're saying. I think either one of them could be the top competitor. I don't disagree with anything you said about Ton, but the reason why I think Abstract is because, so I live in San Francisco. I'm always going to events in Silicon Valley, and I remember going to this venture capital event down in Palo Alto, and it was these grown men on this panel, and this one guy was decked out in Pokemon gear. And he's like, dude, I'm wearing this because like it makes me feel like a kid again. Like this is what I grew up on. You know what I mean? And this is similar to what we're trying to do with the Owls. Like we're trying to make something so that we can like influence the next generation all the way into adulthood while also catering to adults. But things we watch on TV, the toys we play with, it's nostalgic for us. So I think what Pudgy Penguins is doing, like you spoke about Luca Nets, they have partnerships with Walmart. And it's not just like, oh, the Walmart bought their toys one time and that was it. They reordered 3 times, right? So having partnerships with these big box retailers, and then having a code to where you can bring people on chain from toys via a QR code. So Coinbase, they're getting KYC users, people where you have all their information, and that's really, really good. Pudgy Penguins is getting users, while they may not be KYC, they are tagged and they are evangelists because they're buying the toy because they love the penguin. And they have like, when I'm going on Instagram to post things and I'm like using like a Bitmoji or whatever, they always have a penguin to represent anything I'm trying to say. So they're hitting a lot of different points too.
That's valid.
And I do think that if they continue to do this right, they could be like the Pokemon for crypto. And once you launch a chain on top of that, and then because Coinbase, they don't have like a mascot or anything like that. Like they have a brand that's professional. They're the white knight of crypto, but Pudgy Penguins is more like fun, like Pokemon-esque, to where it'll be nostalgic to the early days of crypto, the early days of NFTs, and no other NFT project has done that. So that's why I say that about Abstract.
To be honest, it's a very valid point. You know, the GIFs, that is inspirational. I mean, as you know, I have my own NFT collection, like the BASE Topies, and when we were ideating, like, you know, vision and direction, you know, Pudgy Penguins, they are a North Star. Like they've laid out the playbook, and it just makes so much sense. You know, with the GIFs, exactly as you say, the GIFs, the memes. I mean, for example, like platforms like Reddit or 9gag, man, like you get some like real like hate towards crypto bros, and it's like you better not be like, you know, shilling anything crypto in these forums. But the Pudgy Penguin GIFs, they slide under the radar because it's just like, oh, that's a cute little penguin. Like they don't realize that it's part of a bigger ecosystem, and you know that sort of like the subtle nestling into Web2 culture has been done so perfectly by them. So yeah, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but if they do things right, and if they sort out the streaming culture over there, you know, I think like, yeah, I think they could definitely have a place. I know there was a lot of FUD. I mean, there was a lot of interest early with like to be a streamer over there. They were
I
looking to
just got approved to be a streamer on the Zora app, but go ahead.
Me too, man. Dude, we should I don't know.
Stream this.
Yeah, we should. I'll add that to the StreamYard so we can put it onto our Zoras.
Yeah,
Let the people know we are live.
seriously.
But yeah, Pudgy Penguins. I mean, like the streaming thing. There was a lot of fun there. If they can get that right, you know, and they are, you know, positioning themselves to be the Web3 of Twitch over Zora, yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see who really nails it, and where the attention really goes. Because again, even on Solana, Pump Fun has their streaming. I did one stream over on Pump Fun. I made like $200, and I was like, "What the heck? Like this is crazy." And at the same time, I made like $4 on Retake. And I was like, "Okay, I can see why people are creating over there, greener pastures." But Zora, upping the level on base, Abstract, upping, you know, the competitiveness on over there. You know, may the best app win. I want to see.
Yeah, honestly, we got to see how they're both are going to play out. Like I haven't really I applied for streaming on Abstract. I haven't even checked to see if I got approved or anything like that since I made the video. But if I still had to pick a winner, I'm still picking base though, for sure.
Boom, alpha. All right, guys. So make sure you do scan the QR code, join the group, learn more about DeFi. Let us know your personal LPs and any recommendations. You know, hook your boy up. We will be back next Wednesday for the next episode of Owl Eyez on Base DeFi, and so yeah, 9 p.m. UTC. So until then, stay safe, stay healthy, but most importantly, stay based. Peace out, everyone.